very much, Bobby Martin.
We do call him the pastor of Payne, as you probably know, but he truly is a pastor. Can you tell?
I was spoke at the church, or brother-in-law's church.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we were shouting for 3 hours.
Nonetheless,
Okay.
thank you, Corey. The power of sports marketing. It is highly charged, it is highly opinionated, it is highly emotional. You like it or you hate it, whatever it is, you're engaged. And that's the beauty of what we do with any of our spoken word formats, whether it's sports talk or news talk. Aline made a reference earlier, which was right on target, even with fellows like Rush Limbaugh. You love him or you hate him. Either way, you're going to listen because you need to know what you don't like about him, or you're going to fall in line with his way of thinking. And that's very similar to what we present on the sports side too. It's Carolina or it's Clemson, or it's Clemson or it's Carolina. But whatever it is, people are engaged, and that creates an effective listening environment for your messages. People are less likely to tune away when you hear commercials because Corey's not finished with a thought or an interview, and when these commercials are over, he's coming back to it. And people want to hear the rest of what's going on. It creates that kind of environment for your commercial message, which does make them a little more effective than you might find on most other music formats. Corey referenced the quality of the audience, educated, affluent homeowners. 74% of the team's listeners are educated with a high school education, some college or college. Another, oh, come on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. My bad. 43% of the audience live in households that generate $75,000 or greater. And by South Carolina standards, that is a handsome household income. These are a handful, Frank, I really feel like.
Can we stay up there with you?
Oh, you could, but I really feel like I'm being back to you. There are a handful of other qualitative criteria here that I know that you can't read from where you are, but just suffice it to say that the Columbia market average would be represented at this 100 mark line. Anything above that would be above the market average. And there are things here like spending over $1,000 annually on hardware, painting, lawn and garden equipment, owning and leasing a domestic vehicle as a luxury model, participated in hunting, market home values between $200,000 and $250,000. All this designed just to show you that we are talking about a quality audience. Our challenge was now to reintroduce this radio station to a much larger geographical area, of course inviting more listeners, which will make the station more competitive. But at the same time, on the other side of the fence was also to deliver revenue. And of course, we are a for-profit company, and that's an important thing with everything that we do. With that in mind, we wanted to also provide a cost-effective, what we believe is the most cost-effective opportunity in the Columbia radio market today. Something that would be highly effective for our advertisers by bringing more value to the investment, and doing that and offering the ability to be consistent over a long period of time. It's no secret, and my friend Janice, who I've competed with for probably 3 decades in this market, will tell you that when we talk to advertisers, we talk about consistency, and that's what drives frequency, and that is the key to success with radio advertising. It's something long-term over an extended period of time. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is that very opportunity with 560 The Team. For a second, I want you to think and consider the image of your own business. If somebody were in the market today for a product or service that you offered, where do you fall in that top of mind awareness ladder in their own head? Are you who they think of first, second, or third? And that is the crux of what we're offering today, is that ability to move yourself higher on that top of mind awareness ladder in the minds of the consumers when they are in the market. We want you to think about, do they know who you are and where you are and what you have to offer? That is image advertising at its best, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But that is, by and large, what we're talking about here with the 2 types of customers that we have. We talk about helicopters and we talk about hot air balloons. We advocate the hot air balloon way of thinking when it comes to your advertising and your advertising investment. But we do have customers who prefer the helicopter approach, and we understand why they do that, and I'll explain what that means. But it's because they just think that they can't afford something long-term over a consistent period of time, which would in turn be much more effective for them. A helicopter. We talked to a lot of folks about investing in the medium of radio. They agree. We also talked to them about being consistent over a long period of time. Some do, some don't, and those folks, the helicopters, will participate for a period of time, 2 weeks, 2 months perhaps, but they're not feeling the results that they had the expectations for when all this started. And so they begin to second guess their investment, and then what happens, you know, they decide, well, maybe we'll just switch gears and do something different. Am I right, Frank? Yeah. And then, you know, when you do nothing, nothing happens. And so we thought, well, we got to do something. So we try it again, and the pattern repeats itself. They'll do it for a while, and then it's like, well, you know, it's not really, and then here we go again. And it gets to be one of those vicious cycles. Again, like I said, we advocate a hot air balloon approach, which just similarly as it would a helicopter, it takes a lot of energy to get off the ground, to actually gain the altitude that you'd like. But the difference being is that with the hot air balloon approach, you stay consistent. And just like with a hot air balloon, all it takes are short puffs of air while you're at that altitude to stay aloft. And it's the same thing that we're advocating with the frequency plan. As long as you continue to remind people every day of who you are, where you are, what you have to offer, then when it's time for you to do something from a position of awareness or a position of strength, then any call to action advertising that you do, you're not dealing with the unknowns, if you will. They don't know who you are, or what you do, or what kind of products and services you sell. Now they know all that. And if you have a call to action opportunity, like an anniversary sale or a holiday sale, then you can count on a much greater response because you've already set the table for them, if you will, with a strong image advertising campaign. So our challenge, reintroduce the radio station, not only to all of the sports listeners that would appreciate it around the state, but also to reintroduce it to the ad community at large by creating something that'll maximize the effectiveness of this very passionate audience and our very passionate on-air lineup as well. Create more benefits for our advertisers and add more value for their advertising investment, which makes this a unique opportunity. It is designed to do exactly those things, to put you out front in front of all of these people who are now rediscovering the radio station, maybe for the first time, and many of the listeners who we have who are now so thankful that they don't have those problems with not being able to get the radio station where it is they live or work. We believe that it is the most cost-efficient opportunity in radio today, and I think you'll agree with that when you see it in a second. And what we're going to do, because we realize, having been in the business for a while, that no radio station ever sells 100% of its inventory 100% of the time. We discovered that, by and large, on the average, we sell about 75% of what's available to us on any given day, any given week, and any given month. So we've taken that remaining 25% and made it available to you as part of this particular program. It's a limited offer. This is our 4th presentation and the last of the ones that we're doing this week. The other 3 sessions have gone really well. People are very interested, and we've written a few contracts already, and we've got many more coming, I'm presuming. But it is a limited offer. And the most important feature of this opportunity is that in addition to the commercials that we're going to guarantee you, it also takes advantage of all of the unsold inventory on the radio station at no additional cost. And most importantly, it includes primetime commercials where Corey, the captain, Dr. Rick Sanford, Teddy Hefner, Phil Kornblut all live and work every day at this position at 560. So here's how it works. There's 16 commercials each month terrestrially on the team. There are 16 commercials available to you each month on iHeartRadio, which is Clear Channel's app for smartphones, if you will, and that's via the internet stream at our website, 560theteam.com. There's also 16 commercials available each month on the team's HD sideband, which is coupled with one of our more popular higher demand stations, Steve FM at 96.7. Half of these commercials will run in primetime guaranteed. That's Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. We include 6 to 8 p.m. because we carry Sports Talk, which is a statewide program we carry from the South Carolina News Network, featuring Phil Kornblut, the same guys who do Sports Talk First Edition for us from 1 to 3 each day. Plus, you'll get an equal share of all of the station's unsold inventory. So, kind of how this works is, if you were taking a plane flight from here to wherever, and you bought tickets in the business class and you're sitting sort of toward the rear of the plane, a couple empty seats in first class, the flight attendant says, well, why don't you come sit up front with us? And so, you know, gladly you would accept that, bigger seats, a little more room. But it creates a couple of vacancies then in the back of the plane, and then they start to invite the standby passengers. Well, it's the same kind of upgrade that's available to you through the frequency plan. Half of these commercials will run in prime time, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then the other half will run there when it's available. Now, once we print the program log at the end of each day for the next day, the folks in the traffic will begin to fill in all of those opportunities with your very same commercial at no additional charge. That happens every day, every week, all year long. We'll also help you with a custom designed digital presence on the team's website vis-a-vis the featured advertiser page. Because we all know, if you've ever been in this business, people will call and say, well, I heard a commercial about, and can you tell me who that is and how I can get in touch with them? Well, what we've done is we've created a reference page on the team's website where we direct all these folks. Then they find you, they click on it, it goes straight to your website, and there's all the information they could possibly need. And that's also part of what we do, in addition to those free upgrades and bonuses that I mentioned to you. 48 commercials a month guaranteed, half of them run in prime, Monday through Friday, 6 a to 8 p, and that's the guarantee there. Probably the biggest amenity of all this is the investment. We're only talking about $140 a week. Easy math, because that's all I know, will tell you that it's $560 a month. Coincidence? Maybe. But that's what it is for a 6 or 12 month commitment, because again, we advocate the hot air balloon approach to your advertising. Being consistent over a long period of time, telling people who you are, where you are, and what you have to offer will give you a competitive advantage when that need arises for whatever product or service that you might be offering, you know, the residents of this fine city. To summarize, it's an exceptional value for the money. I think that you'd agree with me if you know what's going on in the landscape today in the Columbia radio market. It's only $140 per week or $560 per month. 48 guaranteed commercials each and every month, with half of those running in prime time. And then again, you'll get to share in all of the unsold inventory, the upgrades, the bonuses, all absolutely free, no additional charge. And again, just let me reiterate that it is a strictly limited offer. You know, we have about 48 of these available. The response has been tremendous. The excitement level for what we've done, not only from the listener side, but from, by and large, the ad community, I don't think we'll have much difficulty at all reaching our goal there. It's adaptable, it's affordable, and it's flexible. And that is our offer today, the frequency plan for 560 the team. Can I answer any questions for anybody? Seriously?
These are 30 seconds.
Yes, sir.
30
Yes, Bill, it's 30-second commercials.
Is production included?
Yes, ma'am, it is. We do have a lot of resource available to us through a division of our own company called the Creative Services Group. Highly polished, national sounding production library that's available to you to use, or we can develop something custom if you'd prefer. But that is part of our charge. There's no extra that you need to pay for any of that. We're happy to do that. Until we get it right, when you're happy, then we fly with it.